This is a rare scene from the 2011 Japan 3/11 earthquake, where a tsunami struck the coastal cities in just 6 minutes. A city was submerged by the sea. The footage looks like something from a disaster science fiction movie. On March 11, 2011, Japan was struck by an epic earthquake of magnitude 9.0, which immediately triggered a massive tsunami along the eastern coastal areas of Japan. In the first moments after the earthquake, the Japan Meteorological Agency issued a tsunami warning and evacuation alerts. However, the Japanese, having seen strong winds and waves before, did not evacuate in time. Instead, they had the presence of mind to record the entire process of the tsunami's arrival. But they greatly underestimated the severity of the disaster. The footage shows scenes shot by Japanese residents shortly after the earthquake. At this point, the sea's waves were still not too large, just showing signs of disturbance. Soon, the sea became more turbulent, and the fishing boats along the coast were capsized and pressed underwater by the tremendous force of the waves. Some were even swept under the bridge piers, crushed into pieces. At this moment, vehicles and pedestrians were still moving along the roads, and people in high-rise buildings were still filming. It seemed that they had full confidence in the tsunami barriers built by their country. A few minutes later, the sea level continued to rise, eventually surpassing the tens of meters of coastal barriers and flooding into the city. At this point, the ships on the water and vehicles on the shore were swept up by the enormous, beast-like black waves that rushed ashore. Only then did people start to panic, screaming for help. The tsunami that reached the shore, along with a vast amount of shattered boats, car debris, and sediment from the seabed, had devastatingly strong, destructive power. Once humans were caught in it, there was almost no chance of survival. In less than 80 minutes, the sea submerged the shadows of buildings in the city. Many small, simple houses were completely washed away, shattered into debris, turning into construction waste, according to relevant data. The tsunami's waves reached as high as 40 meters. The giant waves, as if the apocalypse had arrived, struck 12 cities along the Japanese coast. In just a few hours, most of the city buildings collapsed, and the cities were left in ruins. It is reported that this disaster resulted in over 20 deaths, and hundreds of thousands were displaced. More seriously, the disaster also triggered the Fukushima nuclear leakage incident, which caused widespread nuclear contamination in Fukushima and surrounding areas due to improper handling. The nuclear leak generated 1.5 million tons of radioactive wastewater. However, after many years of turmoil in Japan, despite international opposition and concerns for the safety of all humanity, Japan began to release the nuclear wastewater into the sea. Now, Japan has initiated its 4th round of nuclear wastewater discharge plans, with the cumulative amount already reaching 23 tons. What should have been a heartbreaking disaster has now taken on an obnoxious hue due to Japan's selfishness and dereliction of responsibility.